Hello and welcome to a yarn review video. My name is Carly and today we are reviewing some yarn that was sent to me from Knitting Fever. If you aren't aware of Knitting Fever, they are a yarn distributor based out of the US and most likely distribute yarn to some of your favorite local yarn stores and online stores as well. Definitely check out their website. They have a great resource page for different pattern inspiration, and you can also check out all of the yarns they carry and the beautiful colorways. So today we are reviewing Juniper Moon Farm Beatrix yarn, and this is one of my favorite yarns to work with. It is so soft and lightweight and just so cozy. So this yarn is made in Italy and it features the finest Angora and extra fine merino wool. It is 54% merino, 30% Angora, and 16% nylon. This is a 50-gram ball with 109 yards, so it is a bulky weight yarn. The suggested knitting needle range and gauge is 12 to 15 stitches over a 4x4 inch stockinette swatch using US 9 to 11 or 5.5 to 8 millimeter needles. And then the suggested crochet range or hooks is 8 to 11 stitches over a 4x4 inch single crochet swatch using US K10.5 to M13 or 6.5 to 9 millimeter hooks. So I was sent over some yarn, and this is colored 37. It is just a gorgeous grayish brown with some beautiful depth to it and variation. And one thing that I love about this yarn is there is just a beautiful halo around it. I'm actually wearing something made out of this yarn. I made this almost a year ago now, and this is the Gallant Sweater by Paige. I knit this in the color Jasper, and it is just a really simple top-down raglan sweater. I wear this all the time. I actually think it is one of my coziest, warmest sweaters, so it is a huge hit for me over the winter. I'll stand up here so you can get a good view. I loved working on this sweater and working with the yarn. It really flew off my needles because of this bulky weight yarn, and it's also just so soft and luxurious to work with that it was a pleasure the entire process. I also think that this sweater has worn well over time. Like I said, I knit this almost a year ago. I actually haven't de-pilled it at all in this time span, and I think it looks really good. And with any really soft yarn, you can expect quite a bit of pilling, and I actually don't even have that much pilling here. I think there's maybe a couple pieces that I could pull off, but being that I've been wearing this for a long time, for almost a year, I think it's held up really, really well. I also knit up a little sample project using the other yarn that I showed you, this yarn here, color 37. So this is what I have left. I used a full ball and then maybe a quarter of this ball. And I decided to make the Mika hood by Suzanne Mueller. It is a really quick project. It took me just 2 days and it flew off the needles. It was so satisfying to knit, and again, just really fun to work with this yarn. So here's the Mika hood. As you can see, it's just a hood basically with a collar. So I thought that this yarn would be perfect for it. It can create a really dense fabric, which is just amazing for keeping out any cool wind or cold air. And I live in a very cold climate, so I thought this was perfect for me. I'll try it on here so you can see what it looks like. Okay, here's the Mika hood. Now, not wearing a jacket or anything over top, it kind of looks silly, but it is so cozy. This is a very wearable next to skin yarn in my opinion. It doesn't have very much itchiness, if at all, and so I thought this would be perfect for this type of project, and I can already tell that this is just going to keep me so warm on any winter walks that I go on. I'm super excited to have this Mika hood, and I think that it also looks really good just down like this, and then it's more of a cowl and you can have the hood peeking out of your jacket. This yarn just feels so good next to skin and around my head and my neck, and it keeps me super warm and cozy. It's just one of those things where if you use this yarn, it just turns into a really comforting project. Now, what are some other things that I would knit up using this yarn? I definitely think something with just stockinette or ribbing is key for this yarn. I don't think that anything with a lot of texture or cables would be ideal, as there isn't too much stitch definition, being that it's a really fluffy, soft yarn. So I think something with just stockinette would really allow the yarn and fluffiness to shine through. So I don't really think you can go wrong if you choose an all-over stockinette sweater or a hood like this, or cowls. Even a hat would be great. Just anything that's like a bulkier weight project with some simple fabric, I think would just be amazing for this yarn. I'm really tempted to make more of these Mika hoods. I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. Even if I don't wear the hood, this is just really cozy and gives me an extra layer of warmth, and I would really like to make some more Mika hoods out of this Beatrix yarn. One thing to note about this yarn, it is suggested that you alternate skeins during a project just due to the dyeing process, so you can get a nice even fabric with the color. I actually didn't alternate skeins for this hood, and like I said, I did use about 1 1/4 of skeins, and you can't notice a difference between the color at all. But just something to be aware of if you are doing an all-over sweater, you might want to alternate some skeins. I really love this Beatrix yarn, and I hope you do too if you're thinking about buying it. It is just a super cozy, warm, fluffy yarn that is sure to keep you warm. Head over to Knitting Fever's website if you want some more inspiration of what you can do with this yarn and to see all the different colorways. Thanks so much for joining me for a yarn review video, and we'll see you later. Bye!